All right, our favorite R formula concept. So we need to show the perimeter. Usually when you're doing trigonometry, like R formula, right, you're going to use your tuakaso because you start to see a lot of right angle triangle, right? Okay, so what they're trying to say is let's look out for the information here. They intersect at D. Okay, label, what is this? Is FD is 4. FA is 8, right? Then after that, we have ABF, ACD, DEF. Okay, so then what we see from here is that it's a trapezium. What's a trapezium? BCDF. Okay, and then theta is acute. Please highlight this because this tells you that there are a lot of things that you don't need to find. Let's say your theta, you got many answers, right? Don't need already because we just want it to be acute only. Okay, so we're going to find the perimeter. Perimeter of what? Let me double check, okay? BCDF. Ah, they want the perimeter of the trapezium, BCDF. Okay, so highlight. And then I got 4. Okay, 4 is quite nice. Okay, very good. All right, so what I have here is I'm going to find the pink line first. So I'm going to color code everything, okay? So my pink line, right, FB is my opposite. So I'm using sine theta, which is FB over 7, which allows me to find FB as 7 sine theta. Okay, now I'm going to find the yellow one. Yellow DC, right? Look at the big triangle DAC. Okay, look at this big triangle. So we're going to use Tuakaso as well. So AD is 11, right? So same thing. Sine theta is DC over 11. So my DC is 11 sine theta. Just cross multiply. Okay, then from here, right, a bit troublesome because what I need to do is I need to find AB first. Because if I want BC, right, BC, as you can see from here, right, it's quite tedious because BC is the whole thing minus this, but I don't have any of this part here. I got this only 4, not very useful. So I'm going to find AB in black, which is I'm going to use cosine theta is AB over 7, which means my AB is 7 cosine theta. Okay, AB is 7 cosine theta. So then from here, I'm going to find my AC now. So same thing, cosine theta is AC over 11. Then my AC is 11 cosine theta. So this allows me to already find BC because BC will be 11 cosine theta minus 7 cosine theta, which gives me 4 cosine theta. So now I have everybody ready. So my perimeter, right? I'll start with FD first. That's 4, right? Then this plus this. Can you see that? Yeah, so small. Can you see this plus this? Then I'll get my orange and my yellow and my pink, right? So that's 18 sine theta. Then last one, 4 cosine theta. Settled. Okay, so this one here is just the normal showing. So just use your Tuakaso will do. Easy, okay? Okay, so we're going to look at the second part. So your second part from here is they ask you to show it in terms of sign, right? Okay, so what we have is this is my alamat, wait this is my perimeter. Okay, so what I have here is that always remember to check your first trigo, right, must be the same with this one, must be the same. Okay, if not, you have to swap. So what you need to do now is you need to find what is R and what is alpha. So to find R is quite easy. Let me just use a different color, okay? So for R, right, the formula is A squared plus B squared. This is A, this is B. So what I have here is that 18 squared plus 4 squared. Okay, from what I understand, a lot of the schools, right, they prefer to leave it in terms of 5SF than 3SF. So you see, some of them also want to leave it in terms of certs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I prefer certs, but I've seen students who are encouraged, right, to leave it in terms of 3SF. So you follow your school, okay? Okay, so 340. So this part here is square root 340, right? So square root 340 sure can simplify one because it looks like, so I try to divide by like a perfect square. Let's say 18 square plus 4 square was 340, right? Maybe I try to divide by 4. Oops. divided by 4. So I'll have a 4 times 85 inside. So square root 4 is 2 ma. So I got 2 and root 85 like that. Okay, so this one looks good. Then now I just need to find my alpha. So alpha is tangent inverse B over A. This is the reason why I wanted you to make sure to check the sign. The first trigo must always be the same as the R formula trigo. So just tangent inverse B over A, so 4 over 18. This one usually I'll just leave as 3 dp, then 1 dp. So this is angle lah. Degree you put 1 dp, okay? If not 5SF and 3SF. So tangent inverse 4 over 18, it gives me 12.528. Oops, 12.528. But anyway, usually it's a final answer, right? So we have 4 plus, this part here will be 2 root 85 sine, then theta plus 12.5. You just leave as one decimal place. Okay, so I repeat, I know some schools recently, especially this year, 2025, a lot of students, right, their teachers are telling them to leave in 3SF. All right, so you follow the one that your school wants you to do, okay? Okay, so part B settled already. Just need to put it in terms of R formula, right? Okay, the next one here, we're going to make sure, they always very typical one. For R formula, is always first part proving. Cannot prove, never mind, don't give up. Please go and do your R formula portion, okay? So now what we have is, this is my perimeter. Okay, my perimeter is equals to this thing now. With this, oops, with this particular format, you can actually see your maximum, your minimum and stuff. So you see from here, okay? So every time you have a number, wait, I zoom something. Every time you have a number before it, right? So you have like a number before your trigo, this one over here, right? This is my amplitude, right? So let's say this one here, that means my highest point is 2 root 85. My lowest point is negative 2 root 85, right? But now we got this plus 4 here, so you're going to raise up. So they want, this question wants exact, so no 3SF, okay? Thank God we didn't put 3SF. So for your max from here is 4 plus 2 root 85. Be careful, alright? They want it to be exact. So they want it to be exact, that's all you need to do, like the end already. Okay? This one must be exact. How do you get your corresponding liter from here? If you want your answer to be this, right, this thing no choice must be equals to 1. So that this times 1, right, you get this one here, right? So for the corresponding angle, you will have sine theta plus 12 point. I recommend you to use the 528. Okay, equals to 1. So inverse sine 1, that means theta plus 12.528, right? Inverse 1, sine 1 is 90 degrees. So your theta is just 90 minus this thing. All right, 90 minus 12.528. 1 dp will do. So 77.4, 1 dp. Usually you don't need this to do anything, one. So just leave as 1 dp. All right, okay. The next part, so they will ask you to solve, right? I love this question because what they are doing is they test you everything you need to know. So step 1, proof. Step 2, R formula. Step 3, maximum. Step 4, solve. So now P is equals to 11, right? So what we have is we have this thing again. Okay, but what I want to do is I don't want to use, I don't want to use this 12.5. I want to use 12.528. Okay, so now they're saying that P is equals to 11, right? So just equals to 11. So what I'm going to do is slowly manipulate. Bring the 4 over first. So when I bring the 4 over, 11 minus 4, that is 7. Bring the 2 root this thing over. When you bring over, it becomes a divide, right? Okay, then after that from here, usually we will do the same thing. We'll determine our quadrant for solving, right? So ASTC. So in this case, sign is positive. So first two quadrant, right? Then after that, determine my basic angle. Okay, basic angle, how do we do? Sine inverse. They never say exact, right? 7 over 2 root 85. This is 22.310. So what happens here is that theta plus 12.528 is 22.310. So if I want to find theta, just minus away 12.528. Then this one here, 22.310 minus 12.528. So this one here will give me 9.7 or 9.8 because one decimal place, right? Then the next thing is, right, let's say if you were to check, So let's say I try to check. I will check for second quadrant, right? Which is 180 minus. So when I minus this, I'll get 157.69. So if I minus the 12.528, I'll get 145. 145, then you think about it. Is it acute? Because we wanted theta to be acute. From this first part of the question, theta must be acute, ma. So then in this case, alamak, this one don't need already. So this one just reject. But good to check. Okay? Good habit to always, always, always check. Okay? Okay, then we reach the last part of the question. Okay, so the last part of this one over here, let me zoom. Okay, without evaluating the data, determine whether the perimeter can have a value of 28 or not. Okay, so what we see from here is that this kind of question, usually you just go back to your max, okay? Go to your max value of this one here. So what we have is that we will have 4 plus 2 root 85. Then they say the max is 22 leh. Can you see that? Okay, so what we come back to here again. So we understand that the maximum P is 22.439. So how to get 28? Cannot one. So this is usually, actually that is usually they should link after part, after the maximum question. They purposely put here, then you clueless, right? Okay, so this one here is justify your answer. Can or cannot? So the perimeter cannot, okay, have a value of 28 because the max is only 22. How can you go under 28? Okay,